Good morning everyone, we are a group of students from English Language Education class F25 and today we are going to present our discussion for the interactive speaking midterm task. First of all, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Andi Nurfadilla and here with me are my friends Nurul Inayah, Greysalin and Andi Reski Mujur.
Hi everyone, before we start our discussion, we would like to introduce the topic that we chose. The topic we will discuss is, shall attendance in university lectures be mandatory or let the student choice?
This topic is quite interesting because many university students have different opinions about lecture attendance. Some believe that attendance lectures should be compulsory to help students stay disciplined, while other think students should have the freedom to decide whether they attend or not.
Exactly. As university students, we often have different learning styles, responsibilities, and personal situation. Because of that, the question of whether attendance shall be mandatory becomes an important issue to discuss.
So, in this discussion, each of us will share our opinions, respond to each other's ideas, and try to look at the issue from different perspectives.
Alright, without further ado, let's start the discussion by sharing our initial thoughts.
Alhamdulillah, personally I think lecture attendance should be mandatory. Without rules, many students might skip class. In my opinion, attending lectures is simply the name of the game in university.
Naya, I see it differently. I think students should have the freedom to decide. Forcing students to attend sometimes feel like beating a dead horse, because they might come but still not really learn.
I'm Grace. Honestly, I'm on the fence about this topic. I can understand both sides. Mandatory attendance can help students stay disciplined, but students also have different situations.
I'm Andi Mujur. I mostly agree with Naya. At the end of the day, university students are adults, so they should be responsible for their own learning.
Naya, let me ask you something. Don't you think some students are not forced to stay responsible?
Maybe, but sometimes students only come because they have to. They just go through the motions.
Sorry, Naya. What do you mean by go through the motion?
I mean, they sit in class physically, but mentally they are somewhere else.
Yeah, I seen that happen. Some students come to class but just scroll on their phones.
That's true. But if attendance is mandatory, many students might stop coming completely.
What are you saying? Attendance always leads to better learning?
Not always, but it helps students stay on track.
Honestly, I think we might be barking up the wrong trees.
What do you mean by that?
I think the real issue is the lecturer's quality, not attendance.
That interesting if lecture are engaging. Student might want to attend voluntarily.
Yeah, that makes sense. When lectures are interesting, students usually enjoy being there.
Exactly. Universities should put their money where their mouth is and improve teaching quality.
Good point. But even with good lectures, some students might still skip class.
That's true. Sometimes students feel overwhelmed.
What do you mean by overwhelmed?
For example, too many assignments, loneliness, or personal problems.
Yeah, students sometimes just need a break.
And forcing attendance might make things even harder.
I see your point, but without any rules, some students might take advantage of that.
Maybe we're missing the forest for the trees.
Sorry, Grace, can you clarify that?
I mean the real problem might be motivation.
That's actually a good point.
If students are motivated, they will attend lecture anyway.
Exactly. Motivation matters more than strict rules.
So maybe the solution is not only about mandatory attendance.
Maybe I could say system could work.
What kind of system do you mean?
For example, some lectures are mandatory and other optional.
Yeah, that sounds more flexible.
I think that could work too. Students still get some structure but also freedom. So, after hearing everyone's opinions, I still think some structure is important. But I also agree that teaching quality matters a lot. If lectures are interesting and helpful, students will feel more motivated to attend. So, maybe the best solution is to have some rules, but also improve the way lecturers teach.
My opinion is still similar. I believe students should have the choice, but motivation is also very important. When students feel interested in the class, they will come without being forced. So, universities should focus more on making lectures engaging and meaningful.
I started this discussion on the fence and I still see good sides. Maybe a balance system could work. Some classes could be mandatory while other could be optional. It's a way students still have freedom, but they also have some structure.
Yeah, I agree. One rule may not work for everyone. In the end, balance seems like the best solution. Universities should support students, but students also need to take responsibility for their own learning. Thank you everyone for great discussion.